Welcome to your next step up the self-publishing mountain.
I'm Matilda Swift, author of quintessentially British cozy mysteries.
And I'm Samantha Cummings, author of young adult books about magic, myths and monsters.
I've written the books,
Changed their covers,
tweaked their blurbs,
tried tools from a dozen ads courses.
and I'm still not seeing success.
Now, we're working together to plot and plan our way from barely making ends meet to pulling in a living wage.
Join us on our journey where we'll be mastering the pen to snag that paycheck.
Hello and welcome to Pen to Paycheck Authors Podcast. I'm Samantha Cummings, here with my co-host Matilda Swift, and we're here to write our way to financial success. We're two indie authors with over 24 books between us and still a long way to go towards the quit the day job dream. If that sounds familiar, listen along for our mastery through Missteps journey. Each week we cover a topic to help along the way, and this week we're talking about launching new series and genres and where to spend money with that. But before we do that, what are your wins and twinges of the week?
So many. I feel like I've had a great week. Firstly, we had bashing day on Thursday, which it was the worst, best thing ever.
Yeah.
So we have bashing day for one of our tiers, and it's when either Sam or I leads a session on something that nobody wants to do.
Mm-hmm.
So we did it this week on newsletter automations, which I don't want to do. No one wants to do. It's a lot of admin. It takes 10 times longer to take, and it's nothing but like fiddly details. And every time you start it, I feel bad about my past self who didn't do a better job on the original automation. So it's like, I didn't want to do it. And then had I had to do this by myself, the first 25 minutes, we did like 25-minute sprints. And we have a big like guidebook kind of take you through whatever you need to do that we make in advance. So the first 25 minutes, at the end of that, if I'd been by myself, I would have been like, that's enough work for this week. I'll walk away. But just having that peer pressure of like, other people are there doing it, you'll get to kind of wind a little bit. I did so much work. I did everything I needed to do. It was amazing. I feel phenomenal. So absolute win for a little bit body doubling. Then on Saturday co-working, I finished all my to-dos. I felt amazing. I've done good writing this week. I have written like really, really written and rewritten and tried to figure out the style for the first chapter of my new project. Which I think some people think is a waste of time, but I have previously, when starting a new series, like had to rewrite the whole book one, because I really struggle with like having information dumps at the beginning of a book, and not quite getting the tone right, and then continuing that, and it's a bit sort of dense and tense, and having to redo the whole thing. So I was like trying to avoid that and figure out what I want this to be. I've done a lot of work on that this week, and then I sort of had not made no progress. I made progress, but like not got myself to the place I wanted to be. And then I wrote another version from a different style, which is not what I wanted, but that made me realize what I was missing. So I was like, I feel like I've had epiphanies all week, and it's been great. How about
Any
you?
whinges? Just all wins?
No whinges.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm a bit sore because I'm getting back into exercise, and all my muscles hurt. But that's good. It's good for you.
Yeah, it's great. I also have had just like a big week of wins. As somebody who is spurred on by a deadline, because I had failed my allotment inspection, so I'm going to talk about my allotment for a few minutes. I'd failed my allotment inspection.
Maybe 1 minute.
A couple of months ago. It will be a 1 minute. And so the new inspection was this weekend to make sure that I was like up to scratch. And this is just me in a nutshell for everything. Because I knew when it had to be done by, I hustled like I've never hustled before. And I love that feeling of like, got to get it done by this day. And I've spent every lunch hour of the week just hauling soil, planting stuff, tidying up, like weeding boxes, just all the stuff. And I'm aching all over. My whole body is aching. I've had such a busy week of just doing stuff. Because then I also, like we had Thursday's bashing day, which also felt like physical labor. Because it was like carrying soil uphill. And then like getting halfway and thinking I think I'm done, and then realizing no, you can't be done. But it was really good, and it was exactly what I needed and what I did want to do, which was like, and I didn't have like a whole like big thing to do on my my emails, because I'd already just set up new automations. But I had missed some stuff in my automation process that I would never have like figured out without doing this kind of like look over of stuff. And it also was like a really fun time to look at other things I could be doing. So had a really good time thinking up other ways that I could be using my emails to connect with my readers. And it was just so good. And it felt like it was really, because it's 6 till 9, so it's a big chunk of time, but we fill it. Like it was, like I was working up to the wire, like trying to get stuff done. And it was laborious, but like inspiring at the same time. And
I think it was really nice. Like someone in the group had said, like, "Oh, it's so nice to know that I'm not the only one that's like not good at this." And it was like, yeah, it feels so nice. Like I don't think anyone's great at it at all.
No.
Everyone could be better. And I think not everyone, but I think a lot of people also really hate it.
Yeah, it's really tough, and you don't want to do it on your own, and it is so much easier doing it with other people, which is why, like, co-working, I'm just going to go over my whole weekend. Co-working equally fantastic. I had so much to do. I'd written pages of lists in my books, in all of my notepads and stuff, and then I had to condense that down into one list. And I got it all done because we were here chatting, and like again, I love a deadline, so I know like if I've got 25 minutes to do something, I'm doing it in 25 minutes. And that really works for me. It really is the best kind of like spurring on energy. And I used that to my advantage today, because today I really wanted to close off the week on 10,000 words written, and which meant writing over 6,000 words today. And I didn't want to sit down and do that in one go, because that felt like I would just drain myself completely. So I broke up my sprints, and in between the sprints I put in chores that I needed to do. And because I had set up this kind of time trial for myself of, write for 50 minutes. So I did 2 25-minute sprints. So 50 minutes, one writing sprint. And then I had like an hour of now do some chores. And I basically had a non-stop day of writing, doing chores. I did everything pretty much that I wanted to do. There's one thing that I couldn't get done, but that was like, it was fine because it was just for the sake of it. And I ended up writing over 7,000 words today and feeling like a superhero.
I don't know how you've done all this. Like, just for the podcast, Sam described it to me, like and like all the chores she's done today as well as this. And it's a 2-podcast day because we also do an extra podcast for one of our tiers. So it's like this is by 7 p.m. we've done all this. By 7 p.m. you've done like a lot of chores around the house. Also watched a movie, just mentioned casually to me, and like sat and watched a movie, walked the dog.
Always time for a movie. Yeah, I could squeeze a movie in
and then
anywhere.
7,000 words.
Yeah.
And now I came on being like, I've had such a good day. I went for a long walk. I read my book, and like my walk is to a little like cottage in the woods, like a little old mill in the woods where there's a national trust property, and they have a cafe there. So I sat and read my book with no internet, felt really virtuous. Had like quite a relaxing, did some chores, had a relaxing afternoon. Did a little bit of freelancing, and came on here and I was like, oh, I've been the laziest person on earth today.
No, it's because I just had like so much energy, and I was so spurred on from like how I had momentum basically. So from this whole week I've been building up momentum of just like, don't sit down, don't stop, just keep doing stuff. But I am at the point now where I have to have a week off, like not a week off writing, just a week off from just doing everything, doing all the things. I'm having a week now where I'm like, I said to Ghost Boyfriend, like, this week I'm just, when I get home, I'm just gonna sit down, I'm gonna do some writing, I'm gonna read, that's it. I'm not I'm doing nothing. I'm just gonna water the plants at the allotment. I'm not doing anything else. I've got a week off, so I'm looking forward to having a lazy week, because there's really like, I've just outdone myself. I don't want to burn out. Like I feel like I'm on the cusp of a burnout. Oof. But fun.
Well deserved.
Fun. Yeah, I feel really good about it.
Okay. Well, let's see how good you feel in a little bit, because topic of the week. We've both got new series on the horizon, and we want to start thinking about the launches. How much have you already considered the financial side of this?
I mean, not as much as I should have, and I think it's because I'm putting off planning, because I know that I'm currently working on. I don't like working really on 2 things at once. So I'm currently working on a book, and I'm planning on planning in a couple of months. So I'm not really thinking about it, but I do know how much like a regular book costs me to publish. And And that's nice to know. Like I do have like a general idea of like what I'm currently doing. I know how much it costs, but that is a basic, like just like a basic publication cost. And I do want my next series to make more of a splash. I'm changing genre ever so slightly, but enough that a splash is needed. So and I haven't really thought too much about what that's going to cost me. And I'm not worried about it, but I also am somebody who always thinks about like how they don't want to spend money. So this is going to definitely, this next series is going to be a test on my money problems, which is needed. Something has to test it, and I'm going to force myself to push against a lot of money concerns that I have. But yeah, I desperately need to actually sit down and do calculations, and I think this is like what I'm affording right now is easily affordable. The publication of a book for me it's not cheap, but it is like a cost that I can absorb easily in my current like life budget. You know, I'm still putting money into savings. I still have money to spend at the end of the month. I'm living comfortably, so now I can push.
I feel
on
like
that.
you're a very frugal person in terms of like
I'm very frugal.
living comfortably. You're not like living a high life, but you have set up your budget such that you can publish the books you plan to publish without it like being a hit. It is part of your budget.
Yeah, it does not hit me at all, really. Like everything is easy. I do pay for things like my editing is to file split over 3 months or something, but that's just money management rather than, it's not that I can't afford it. I just like to feel like I'm budgeting. But yeah, like
But so that means that you could afford more.
I could
if you
afford
wanted
more.
to say like, I'm going to do something big.
Yes, I could afford more.
Like hire a skywriter. That's on my bucket list, by the way. I do really want to hire a skywriter for something. It just seems like a fun thing to do.
Imagine seeing it. It would make your day. I have never seen a skywriter.
I think I just sent myself a message. Right, me either.
Or like even just like a plane with like the banner flapping behind it.
Yeah.
I'd like that as well. I'd like to read a banner on a plane.
Yeah. One day.
Yeah.
But that's not actually where I'm going to spend my money.
Okay.
For book publication.
Yeah. So what? How have you thought about what your new publication will cost?
No.
This is where we both admit.
Not even a little bit. And this is why we made this episode.
We haven't thought about this whatsoever. We're kind of coming in with very naive thoughts because we need to openly discuss what needs to get discussed.
I'm not sure it's naive. I think this is a topic where it's interesting that neither of us has given it consideration, that we're clearly both avoiding this. Because we made this plan for this episode quite a while ago, and partly why we decided to make episodes is to make ourselves think about something. Because for both of us, it's quite far off. The actual launch of the series is quite far off. So we were sort of like, I want to make sure we're thinking about it. But it's unusual for us to for neither of us to have sat down and planned something. And I think that's very telling, because I think we're both doing similar things. Where we are trying to move into a genre that we think is a good fit for us, and thinking that this could be the series that I write that I can really make money from.
Yes.
And that is quite scary to say, and now here's how I do that.
Yeah. Yes.
And it shouldn't be scary. It should be very this is how we do it. So I really feel like I am trying to walk myself up to that line. So I forgot my ideal whinge of the week, but it's not really a whinge because it didn't affect me because I knew it was going to happen.
Okay.
My whinge of the week is that I emailed my newsletter list to say, by the way, I'm stopping the series that I write.
Yes.
I'm going to cancel the pre-order just so I want to tell you in advance so you can see the pre-order be cancelled. I've recovered the series as it is, so I wanted some more promotion on it before I continue with the series at all. Also, here's some my regular stuff I've done. Here's my week. Here's my pottery. I went to pottery class. Here are my cats. The only responses I got were about the pottery class that I did. Didn't get a single person being like, "Oh no, not that series that I love," or nothing. I even asked I asked a question of the week usually, and one was "Oh, is there anywhere can you tell me where you find my books? Can you tell me where you think other people might find my books?" Nothing. Which I knew was going to be the case, and I kind of just wanted to. Not I knew it, but I was not at all surprised by it. It's not like I'm trying to make this be a self-fulfilling prophecy. I wrote it in quite a cheerful way. But I did not expect people to be like, "No, I'm devastated." Whatever
But
should I do?
but you hope at least one person would reply and say,
Right?
"Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that," and it
Yeah.
does highlight the kind of the feeling of we've not found our right audience.
No. And I like the week before I had got something like a dozen replies. I've had several emails recently where I've had like a dozen replies, really engaged with like what I've written about my newsletter. But it's never about my books.
Mm.
And I think it's been a good wake up call to be like, I really want to write books that people want to champion. Like I want to write books where if I said I was cancelling it, people are like, no, don't do that. I'm gonna go and tell all my friends about it.
Mm.
Like this week I watched Ride or Die, and I have not shut up about it. Like, I've been
This is
telling
very
everyone I
true.
know.
Yep.
Yeah, like literally everyone I know, and like in a lot of detail, why they will love it. Um, and just FYI, if you've not watched it, watch it. It's on Prime. It's very good. Anyone will enjoy it, but
Hmm.
especially people who enjoy us will enjoy it. And I think it's being not well enough advertised by Amazon to show like what's so good about it. It's written by someone who I don't know who she was, but she's just like a UK comedian. I don't know how she got given this gig to do. Fantastic, love it. But she's not someone who's like a mega famous Hollywood writer. And then they were like, write this amazing script. And she did. It's such a good script.
Oh.
Anyway, um, don't even know what's going on. Oh yeah, I want people who love my books like that, like who will be selling it. I have hands on this series, like I'm on commission.
Yes. Yeah, I know. And it's funny how we both come across things that we are desperate to tell each other about, whether it's a TV show, a book, or
Mm,
a movie, or a song. Like you told me about a song today. And like those things do something where
mm,
you're like, oh, I know somebody's gonna love this. I have to tell them about this. And like one of those really like I don't think about that until after the fact usually when I'm writing, which is what I want to this is what I want
mm,
to get over. I want to figure this out beforehand because I know that the things that make things like recommendable or something you want to champion is because you empathize with or you understand the feeling behind that thing. So it's
mm.
like it's conjured up, or you've been able to kind of have this feeling that is a feeling you've had before, and you know what it feels like, and you know how to explain that feeling to other people. And
Yeah, yes.
that's the thing. And I was saying this because I was talking to Ghost Boyfriend. We'd watched the Odyssey this weekend, and we were talking about the fact that he didn't feel anything when he was watching it. He didn't think it was a very like he enjoyed the film, but he thought that there was like a lot lacking from the
Mm,
interactions with the characters. And so we were having a conversation about it, and I said to him, like, it's really weird to see somebody who's so good at their craft not understand that basic principle of people who are watching films need to feel a universal feeling. And I was like,
mm,
oh, ding, ding, ding.
mm,
Now I get it. Like me having to explain to him, I was like, oh yeah, universal feelings are the thing
mm,
that that really is that like that's what makes me tell people about it is I love sharing things that make me feel like a kid again, or make me feel like that, like if it's like a romancy thing, like oh that yearning sort of, oh like the
mm,
relationship between these, like I told you about a film today and I was like, oh but the relationship between the two characters is really good. And it's
mm,
yeah, like I love things like that, and I hate the fact that I don't think about that beforehand.
mm. Yeah.
That's
And I really have with this book, and I think I've not written a book before where I would hand sell it if I hadn't written it, right? And like
mm-hmm.
that's why I want to feel about this book, where like I want to be the first champion of it.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of that is because like the stuff that we love, like Ride or Die, the things that are so good in that are like they feel like they should be illegal, as in it feels like it's telling a story about things that they're like a lot of contemporary culture doesn't really care about. Like it's mostly about like female friendship and like
Mm-hmm.
between two women who are very authentic, and how how French is about honesty and like showing yourself. And it's just like obviously it's also about an assassin, but like
Yeah.
that's the dressing of it. But it's about there's so many kind of other aspects to it where you're like, oh, they really like it's like making your insides on the outside in the outside
Mm-hmm.
world. And I think because maybe like for both of us, because we're not necessarily living the life that is like the social norm, it means that your insides feel a bit like something that should be kept secret. Because you'd be like,
Yes.
oh, I'm not selling the big like love story where you're going to end with having kids and like it's a happily ever after, because like I don't believe in that, and like it's not true. No one has that. People have really complicated, interesting lives, so I don't find that interesting to kind of portray in a book. And I want to portray in a book like people have interesting, complicated lives like mine.
Yeah.
So yes, this is a very long-winded way to go about saying I really want a series where I am very passionate about it. And so it makes me think that actually thinking about the financial side of it, yes, I will definitely be doing financial things, but primarily what I want to make sure I'm doing is a series where I feel like I could do organic selling as well. Like I could be doing organic like social media posts because I will love it that much. Which is something I haven't ever factored into thinking about a launch, but like I could be talking about it now.
Yeah.
Right. And like being super enthusiastic about it on social media from the beginning. But
Yes.
at some point I will, like early, and get people enthusiastic about it. And like I could do it today because I know so much about the book and the series, and I started writing it and I feel great about it. And so that is kind of where I'm not necessarily like where my priority is in terms of the proportion of what I'm going to do or the cost of what I'm going to do, but like that's my first priority, is to make sure I can do that.
Yeah. And with the costs, like, do you know, does each book that you produce at the moment cost the same every time? And do you budget for that, or is that just a cost that you like just pay because you can? And would you increase that?
I don't know. Really. So I know how much books cost, like I know how much the cover and the editing stuff costs for books generally. But I have never had like a dev edit before I've published a book. And I don't know if I want to change my process. Like I know there's a big argument for changing my process, right? Because I've written books that haven't been successful. And therefore I could, and I'm writing in a new genre, right? And so it could be like, oh, get loads of beta readers, get a dev editor. And it feels really natural to me. Like it feels like a real too many cooks situation. And I've always had like, critique partners, and I've got someone who is already scheduled for like looking at the first chapter. But I know people who have like their plans looked at, their beginnings looked at, the whole book's looked at. And I don't know, it doesn't feel like something I want to do at all, but that doesn't mean it's not a reason, doesn't mean I shouldn't be doing it.
Yeah. Yeah,
Because I
I
could
think
budget like another 800 quid for a dev edit, which is like, that's an enormous amount of money for something I don't know if it's
yeah.
going to be one person's opinion.
Yeah, yes. I am the same. Like I wrote down if I was gonna spend extra money at the start, it would be character art, which I could do now. So there's nothing actually stopping me from doing that.
You can make your own character art.
And I can do my own character art. And I'm doing an art course at the moment, like a drawing course, to actually just do that myself because I do love drawing, so I need to make time for it. But I also put
You could
dev
do it now. You're
edits.
so good. I don't understand how you have this skill. It's very annoying.
It's just not. I can't quite do what I'm imagining though. That's the problem. So,
Okay.
but I put dev edits, and I have had dev edits before, and I didn't pay because it was like a kind of trade off because it was somebody who I know who was practicing, but she was like a qualified editor, and it was just another step in the process. I don't think I got enough out of it at the time, and I don't know, I'm like you, like too many cooks. I don't like having that many people in my process. I don't like the idea of beta readers, or really anybody involved, because it's such, and maybe this is a problem because I know it's a business and I'm running it as a business, but the actual creation of the book and the story to me is all me, and I like that it's all me. But if I had 50% more budget, would I hand it off as though I was like handing off an admin task? I don't know. Like I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if it would be a good cost or not, because I've not had the experience that other people have, where they get it back and their work has been not massaged into place, but they've had good enough feedback that it changes the story in some way. Because I don't want the story to change in any way. And maybe that's a me problem, because I think once I've done my edit and it goes to an editor, all I want them to catch is really like the occasional spelling, but mostly it's just grammar and maybe like some sentence structure stuff. But I don't want somebody to say this part of the story is wrong or should be moved somewhere else. At that point, I'm already past the point where I don't want to be involved in the book anymore. Which is, maybe it's a me problem.
I saw someone on Threads today saying that like they look back over the reviews and half the reviews said, it starts really slowly, but you know, the middle is good and then it really picks up towards the end, and half the reviews said it's so pacey from the start and then, you know, the middle just really slows down, then it's dead by the end. And she was like, there's nothing I can do with that feedback.
You can't do anything. I get the same. Some people say that my book starts slow, and I think they do start a little bit slow. Some people say that they like it that it starts like that. Other people have said like, oh, the twists at the end, I never saw them coming. Other people say I expected everything that happened to happen. Like what? Like you can't please everyone. So who would I be trying to please with dev edits? I don't know.
I do think this is the part where trad publishing is better, right? Because I would have a dev editor if I knew it was going to improve my book. And with trad publishing, you have two layers of someone loving the book, right? You have to find an agent who absolutely is like, I'm going to be a champion for this book, and they shop around to find an editor who's like, yes, this is exactly the book I want to work on.
Yes.
And it's two levels of pitching for this book. Whereas a dev editor, you find somebody and then you pay them the money and then they give you some feedback and you're like
yes, I think that's that's I hadn't really ever thought about that, the fact that when you go through trad, they are so like excited to sell the book because they like obviously like they want to sell the book, got to make them money as well, but you have all of those affirmation points along the way of like an agent saying, this is amazing, well definitely let's try and get this published, and then a publisher
like, they wouldn't even pick it up if they weren't like somebody really loved it, somebody wasn't like, I can see it. And you know, if you had several agents who were interested and the same for several editors who were interested, like you would talk to them all about their vision for it and then pick the one you're like, yes, that aligns with what I want to do with it. Whereas this, like, a dev is not even going to read it until you paid for them.
But it's funny because I remember like maybe last year or even the year before, and you and me saying to each other, what we'll do is we'll pitch stories to each other and you know, kind of give feedback on whether it's good or, you know, whether it's a good idea, as a kind of way to mimic that that relationship. And the last books that we've pitched each other, we have actually both been like that. Like,
we're like, yes,
this is the story. So it's funny to kind of think about.
If I were Liz, I would 100% buy the book that you just pitched to me recently. I'm like, and all the money, the whole publishing house's budget is on that.
And I would to you as well when you told me what your new series was, and I am like, I think about it just every now and again.
It was all the time. Yeah. And like neither of us read in the genre that the other person's writing in, so like they're exciting. And I think part of it is like the other person's excitement, right? Like we've come with this level of excitement, and also I think when I was talking about yours, like you really thought it through, and all the twists felt so like they felt so organic. And I sort of think that that's what puts me off having like. Not puts me off. That's what makes me feel like dev editors and beta readers are not the direction I want to go in, because I want to get better at that side of things. I want to get better at and like consider it to be my responsibility to always have like that aspect of story be my job. And to know that like no one's going to come in and rescue it. Like I have to make it just phenomenal.
Because it does feel that is my favorite part of the whole planning process, and is coming up with the twists. And when I watch a TV show or a film and I finish watching it and I'm talking about it with somebody, I always know where they could have done a better job at a twist, or where they could have reintroduced a character or, brought someone back from the dead or anything, I always know those points. So I always feel like that's one of my strong suits when I'm writing, is that I know, like, looking at my own work, I know that stuff because I am a TV. I am
Yeah.
like I've been practicing that, and I've been absorbing that my entire life. It's like been my main hobby is watching those sorts of TV shows. So
I was so worried with Ride or Die that they were going to make the characters do things at the end that were not authentic to who they were. I was like, I feel it with this, like they've made it so big and it keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger with every episode. I was like, I think if I were writing this, because it's not my genre, like the genre it's written in, I was like, I think if I were writing this, I'd get stuck at the end and I wouldn't know how to land it, because you've put people in like absolutely impossible positions, right? Like you've done the great thing, this is why I'm so obsessed with the show. Like she's done such a good job, the writer, Tessa Coates. She's done such a good job of like whatever would bring the character the most pain, do that. And also like what's the thing that they would never want to do, and then put them in a position where they have to do it.
Yeah.
Like she's done that over and over again, and I really feel like in this genre where it's such heightened stakes, I'd be like, I don't know how I get back from this.
Have you ever, just to go off on a tangent, have you ever watched the show Good Girls with Christina Hendricks?
No.
Because I feel like you would also like that for that sort of thing. It's just it's kind of like when I told you to watch Revenge. It's that sort of thing where at the end of every episode you're just like, and now what? They're gonna like it's
like a key change.
Yeah, it's like on top of everything. Every single twist, every decision is just turning, like just cranking the tension every single time. And Good Girls is about
payoff at the end.
It's it's one of the best TV shows for like everything pays off. It's so good, and it's about three women who are really struggling with money, and so they decide to rob a bank, and that's just the first episode. And then what happens afterwards? There's like 4 seasons of it. It's crazy good. Every decision that's made, you just would never see it coming, and that's like a really good example of characters being written into corners, and then like so well done with how they react, because they really make it true to the characters, but you see each character has to change so slowly along the way that by the end of it you believe everything that they do, because they've changed so completely because of every single tiny minute thing that's happened. Really good. I think it's on Netflix.
I have seen advertised to me, so I will get it. Yeah. I think that's what I really hated about The Housemaid. I think The Housemaid, it was so enjoyably readable, right? It's like, and it's silly, right? It's like, it's silly, high stakes stuff. And then the thing that means that I would never want to read it again or recommend people is like right at the end, both characters make a decision that is absolutely counter to everything you've learned about them so far. Like they're acting their own interest in a way that they have done the entire show for no reason. They've shown no growth in this direction because it's what the plot wants, right? They both make plot-based decisions rather than character decisions. Anyway, I don't want to go off a real tangent on this, but I want to be the person responsible for these changes, and I think I would only want to have an editor working on it who, like, I would want to have someone who's like, I would trust as much as you in terms of the dev edit, who will be like, and maybe this is the answer, maybe we should have to both read each other's work and like be critique partners for this, because I have another friend, in fact I do have a friend who is thinking about asking to do a dev edit, who is not a dev editor, but who I know is doing some freelance work at the moment, because she's always gives such insightful feedback to things. It's like, it's not, she's never gives you like the answer, but she always gives you like the place you need to look at to strengthen it more. And she is incredibly insightful. So it's like, I think I don't want to budget for a dev edit without the confidence that it's going to be the thing that the book needs.
Yeah, it has to be the person, and finding the person is like still to this day is so difficult. It's like trying to find somebody to do character art for you, which is like obviously of a lesser consequence. You could pick anyone, and you don't like the budget can be so small or so big, like just depending. But obviously dev edits, it's always pretty much a big budget. But even if you ask people for who they've used in the past, that is like a difficult place to be, because maybe like you look at their art and it's actually not the kind of art that you want. But then as soon as you start asking anybody for advice on who to go to, I've done it before, biggest mistake of my life, where I went on Threads and said, you know, looking for character art, does anybody have any recommendations? Thousands of messages I got. It had to have been thousands.
Like self-recs.
Self-recs. Some people did recommend other people, which was nice, and I got to see like different art that was available. But literally, I still, even this is like probably 6 months later, I'm still getting messages from that post. Both on Threads, and then they find me on Instagram and they send me, and they don't just send one message. Some people will just continuously message me saying, now? Like, are you ready now? Like, such a mistake. So yeah, like, just have to block loads of people, and that's just like just trying to find somebody to draw silly pictures for me. Like, finding a dev editor where the relationship really has to be there, that's very difficult. And I think like, it's like our relationship. We did this, we built this, and it's been for a reason. If we'd have just come together just to make a podcast with nothing else around that, I don't know if this would have continued in, like, it wouldn't have been a good thing. It would have just been a show up just to record a podcast. But we've built so much around it, and that relationship and that, like, this little, like, world that we've created is what makes all of this good.
And even the same with beta readers, right? Like, even though you could get beta reader recommendations, it's like it feels like when you join a critique group, like a new critique group, right? Like, you don't trust most people in the group, because you don't know them.
I don't have that much to give.
And they're mostly rubbish.
I don't have that much energy to give to anybody else either. Like, I'm kind of up to the brim of how many relationships I can sustain at one point in my life, and I'm doing a terrible job at most of them, because like, life is busy. Like, doing this makes you a very busy person, and I find that I can't sustain actual relationships with people as well as doing this, as, like, I'm not good at that. So I can't bring more people in and befriend them, because I know that I wouldn't have anything to give. Like, I was even at my day job the other day, and somebody messaged me on Teams, and I didn't read it for 2 days, and I said to, like, people in the room with me, like, I can't give him the energy that I know he wants from me.
Yeah.
And I'm being paid for this, and I can't. So
and it's like, and beta readers, it is an energy, right? Even if people are just like doing it because they love beta reading, there's no payment, there's no necessary like you're gonna swap. It's just that they love beta reading. Like, there's still a relationship exchange, and you still want to build a relationship so you know whether you can trust them or know whether you have to like placate them when they give you a bunch of nitty gritty like points. And
who do you trust? Whose information do you take on? Yes,
I'm aware of the time that we've just been ages talking about one really small topic.
I know.
So let's look at this.
So I'll say why I think that I'm, like, struggling with this. And I said this before we started recording, so I wrote it down so I didn't forget. But I have got a list on my wall of audacious things to do. And we've talked about this previously, like quite recently, where we realised that our audacious lists are not audacious at all. And I actually don't now know what is available to me as an audacious thing. But that's what I need to do.
Given that you're not a Nepo baby or an industry plant, like, you can't be doing what maybe you see some other people doing.
Yes. So I need to really, like, look at what is an uncomfortable next step for me that's available, but I just I'm like scared to do it. But at this point in time, I don't know what that is. Like, I can't think. Like my Audacity list is the most boring thing that you've ever seen. It's just like we've said this. It's just a to-do list. And I've crossed most of them off because they were just it's just a to-do list. And
I mean, we talked about Brianne Randall before, and like on her Audacity list is like, want to be on the Kelly Clarkson show, right? It was like, that is an audacious desire. And she would like talk about that out loud, which is cancelled now, right? So she's not going to be on it, which is disappointing. But like, it sort of doesn't matter, right? Just saying that out loud is saying, like, this is the sort of person I am.
Says everything out loud. She has no worry whatsoever of the things that she says out loud.
Which is fair, she's just a massive breakdown. She's posted a lot about this recently, but like, I had a really big mental health breakdown. So it's not like she is immune to human feelings. But like,
No,
I think
no.
that's such a positive thing to say those things out loud, say like what you want.
Yeah, and I really struggle with that. We were talking about Florence Given, and I've mentioned her before on the podcast, and
Hmm.
we were talking about her before we started recording this, about her. You were listening to the latest episode, and I was saying how sometimes like I can't watch her videos or like
Hmm.
what, because I watch the video podcasts, um, because sometimes I know that I won't enjoy what she has to say or the way that she says it, because it
Yeah.
makes me feel uncomfortable. I cringe at the way that she is, and it's not
And she's
because
just like
it's
fully audacious.
because she is 100% just doing anything and everything that she wants. She doesn't care. She acts how she wants. She says what she wants, and it's never like her. It's not her problem. She's not
Mm.
wrong. It's I'm being challenged.
Mm.
Something inside me is being challenged by her videos, and that's like I think I have some stuff to work through, but I don't know what it is to
Yeah.
figure out the limit that I put on myself. I feel like I've
Yeah.
got a ceiling and I can't see, like, I don't know what's above the ceiling, but the ceiling is there. And
I mean, she feels illegal, right? The way she talks about
yeah.
things. And then when she says things, you're like, that can't work. Like, that's ludicrous. And then
Mm-hmm.
she'll be like, and then it works. And you're like,
Yeah.
no.
Mm-hmm.
Why do I always think no and think it's not possible? And because I think her and Brianne Randall both annoy me the same way, right? And I constantly think like, no, you shouldn't be doing this. You shouldn't be getting away with this, right? Which is just a reflection on what I think I can do and what I can get away with. It's
Yeah.
nothing more than that. And I like trying to watch them. I like trying to endure their audacity
Yes.
because I
Yeah.
should be like that. And I want to write a book, and this is I think what my big goal at the moment is like I want to write a book where I feel like it deserves that level of audacity, and that will push me into doing it.
Yeah. Yeah. But I know that the book that I'm gonna write next is like amazing.
That's
And
so good.
it's so good. And I think I have the capacity to write it. I think that I know,
Yeah, yeah,
like, I think about it a lot, and I think that, like, I know what it is that I'm making, but how do I become that person
yeah.
who wants to talk about it? So I like,
And it's like a book that you need like a big push around, like right. You can like it's a sort of book,
yes,
a showy book that like you want to
yeah,
get in the top like 100 Amazon. You want it to be like everywhere on TikTok. Like it can be
yeah,
that sort of success, and it
yes.
is a big splash book.
It's yeah, and I need to be the
And how do
person
you
who
do it?
can big splash. I need to become
Yeah,
Madison from Splash, 80s, 90s reference. 80s reference? Yeah.
I think 80s. Yeah, the hair.
The hair, the tail, everything about it. So I need to become a mermaid.
Yeah,
No,
and that seems fine. It looks very easy in the
yes.
show.
Yeah. I need to figure out how do I access that person? Because I know as well, like when I think about that book and I think about writing it and I think about who I am as that writer, it's not me right now. And I know it will be
Hmm.
because I will do the book and I will write the book, but there's like, I feel like there's something in between me and that.
Mm.
And I
I
don't
feel like as
know.
well we've talked very vaguely, right? This episode's meant to be about like
Yeah.
what I'm going to launch a series, but we're both talking about like ambition and audacity because
Mm-hmm.
I think when neither was writing books where we're like, I'll just run some ads and I'll tell my newsletter, um, because why? Like we've done things like that and it hasn't worked. And I think we need to change our attitudes, right? That's the
Yeah.
thing that we need to be changing, because like I've got a large newsletter and I've written books regularly and I've put out books that I thought were to market and I just told thousands of people that I'm not publishing the next book and nobody cared. And it's like, I don't want to be in that position again. I want people to care, or I want to be really upset if they don't care, rather than
Yeah.
like, yeah, that tracks.
Yeah, it really is. I didn't think it was going to be a mindset episode, but this is a mindset.
It's another secret therapy episode.
Oh no. It really is a secret therapy episode. I really didn't think that I really thought this was going to be if I had,
Hmm.
if I was going to spend 20% more on my books, what would I spend that 20% on? Like, that is
Who cares?
that's the to-do list. That's not the
Yeah,
audacity list. That's just something to do. That's not changing me or like my process in a
yeah.
fundamental way. And it's me that needs to change. It's
Yeah.
not my process. I know how to write a book, and I know how to publish a book, and I know how to... I know all that stuff. It's the secret magic sauce that I'm missing, and that is me. Like, that's the me
Yeah.
part.
It's
And
thinking like that book could be at number one, right?
Yeah.
And let's say number 20. Number one is ludicrous. Like, we're not writing romance, so
No.
like,
I
let's say
mean,
you're gonna go like, I'm gonna aim.
it is a
No,
little bit
yeah,
of
okay, all right.
romance.
Let's aim for number one, and to like be like,
Okay.
I want to think, because I think the moment, definitely, I have previously been writing books and publishing books, thinking like, I'm just trying to get them ticking along a little bit. Just maybe some people reading them, just a little bit of attention, like some readers. And it's like, I'm never aiming for anything big.
No, because I'm so uncomfortable with being seen.
Yeah.
And I know I'm no longer missed over trees most of the time, but I still shy away from attention. And that's, I don't know, like, that's just a thing that I just have had my whole life, but it holds me back. And I've talked about this before, I think, where it really holds me back from doing things that I want. And I'm so much better at it now. Like, I'm not a self-conscious person really in life. I don't care about what people think about me on the street or out and about. Like, I'll sing and dance in the street, no problem. I used to go out and dance, and I was so sober, no one knew, because I was just like a maniac. Like, I don't care about things like that, but it's attention for something I've done that I like. It's recognition. I think that's my problem. Like, recognition is difficult.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Which I think is maybe why we've not done like planning for the episode, thinking like, oh, I could run these sorts of ads, and I want to be on NetGalley, and like, I think all that stuff, like, we know, and like, it's not. You could do it big, you could do it small. Doesn't really matter either way, right? They're not measurably different. So it's like, do I want to just save up money and invest more money in like ads at a time? Yeah, maybe, but that's not going to make any meaningful difference at all.
No.
Because I'm already doing that, right? It's like I've got a plan for the next 6 months to use my backlist to make sure I've got all those things in order, right? That, like, make sure I know what I'm doing for all those things. So I'm recovering my books, I'm changing the keywords, I'm changing the blurbs, I'm going to organize some swaps, I'm going to change some automations, I'm going to run some ads, like, all that, like, basic stuff, right? Which isn't basic to a new person, but like, is basic to us by now. Like, I should have it all down pat. I don't, because I am not good at running ads to make money. But I'm gonna get that. Like, that is just like background stuff I'm working on in the next 6 months. Like, in order to make a series do what I want it to do, like, I can't. That's not enough.
No,
that's not what I want to be doing.
It's an upfront thing. It's not like doing all that stuff like in the background is business as usual. That's the BAU.
Yeah.
So it's the how do you launch a product in a world where everyone is launching a product.
Right, and like, all the AI writers are doing those things. All the AI writers are like having a newsletter, running some ads, and you can see them doing well, right? You can see AI covers, and you can see AI books, and that's not to cast aspersions. They're not nice about people. They're just doing a thing they think is the way to run business, right? I wouldn't want to do it, and I don't think it's writing. And that's a place where people have different opinions. But like, they're doing those things, and that's not my book. I want to write books where AI could never write it, and where I think AI books are for a certain sort of audience. They're for people who just want to be enjoying what they're looking at, and then they'll read the next thing and they'll never remember the book in future. I want to read a book that's like Ride or Die, where you like can't stop telling people about it. Like, I messaged my dad today. It's not even my dad. And I was like, I think you'll really like it. Like, my dad's got good taste in TV, so like, I think he'll really like it. He likes funny things, and he likes sort of like the humor in that. And it's like, I wait till I got to the end to just be sure. But I want to write something that AI couldn't write. Therefore, I need to market it in a way that AI writers are not going to be marketing.
Yeah, that's like a fun thing to think about, is how, rather than like how much money you're going to put into things, what are you going to change about your marketing tactics? And yeah, I think at the moment I am marketing and it's very impersonal. And that is something that that's something that I want to change. I want to be somebody who markets with like my whole chest, like me like presenting a book and saying
human you,
this like you are gonna love this. And I do, like, I love my current series, but it's not found the audience, and so talking about it now still feels like most of the people that see it are just the wrong people, and that's like standing in the middle of the street shouting about whichever religion you want to shout about, but you're in a street full of people who don't care because they're all such different people.
Shopping to do.
Yeah, it's like it's a city centre and every single person is different. Whereas I want to be shouting in a room where all of the people there are like my also bought people. So how I need to kind of like get into the room with them, and then it's all coming together up here. Just can't say it out loud.
And I think I'm not sure this episode's been like do X, Y, Z, but I think it's been a useful episode for us to think like I'm not sure either has really clarified this is what we're looking to do a new series for and what we're trying to do with it. I think previously I just sort of let myself be taken along thinking like and then I'll run some ads and I'll do some swaps and I'll put some promo deals, but like I absolutely don't want to do that. I mean, I will, like, as in, that's the basics, right? That's what I'll be doing. Yeah. But that's not how I'm going to make my book take off in a way that I want.
No. Yeah, that is just the bread and butter now. We're so, like, we're so good at making books. I don't mean, like, we're good, like, we're making the best books. But I just mean, like, we know all the steps. We are professionals. We're, like, completely so far into this now that I don't even think about any of those steps. I just do it. There's no like real concern about any of that, but I am concerned about getting in my own way.
Okay. That is useful to kind of articulate that, because I think that's not my, like, I think we have the same issue but from different angles. I think that's not what I'm concerned about. I think I just won't care enough to feel authentic, like I'm able to like talk about it. I need to love it as much as I love Ride or Die.
Yeah.
And it hasn't even got like Octavia Spencer and Hannah Waddingham in it, so it's tough.
Yeah, we definitely do have different problems, but the same at the same time. Yeah, because it's funny that I love that we both always come at things from slightly different angles, but towards the same point. Yeah, I think that we have more to talk about on this, but we're not going to get to it today. I think this is going to be a process.
I think, yeah. But I think we've had a lot of thoughts there that like we wouldn't have come to without discussion.
No,
so
I
really
feel
helpful.
Yes, I am very epiphanied out, basically.
Yeah.
Like every thought that I've had. I think the audacity thing for me is the thing. I think I don't know how to be more than I am right now. So that's a fun thing to think. I think I'm evolving, and I don't know what my next Pokemon shape is.
Are you on a cusp?
Yeah, I'm on the cusp of evolving into the next Pokemon. Right now, it's just a big question mark. Yeah. Okay, I think we have gone on about this for long enough, so I'll wrap it up. Next week we are going to be talking about ending a series, which is very apt after what you've just said. So do you have any thoughts about this already?
Nothing good, but I think it's one where I could do a talking through it and figuring out, because I've just sort of stopped this series. But the series that I'm writing, and if it hit a place where it was fine to stop, but I had another couple of books planned. And as part of like revamping it, I maybe want to set myself an idea of like what would make me finish a series, like finish at a point where I want to finish it rather than stop it just because I'm sick of writing books that no one buys. Yeah. So that's kind of where I want to come at next week.
Yeah, I'm going to be talking about just in general finishing a series, because I'm finishing up the third book in a series right now, and I I can't really say much about it right now, but I will have things to say about it next week because I'm having finishing thoughts at the moment. So yeah, I think we're both gonna have different things to say on this subject, as usual.
Excellent. Look forward to it.
But yes, everybody, thank you for tuning in. Hopefully you enjoyed this absolute thought
therapy
soup
session.
Yeah. You can join us to talk about it more in the Discord if you want to. It is free to everybody. You can join. There are paid tiers if you want to get more time with us. We do co-writing sessions. We do bashing sessions, and we do our weekly workshops as well. They are available at different monthly workshops. That. Yeah, so it's not definitely not weekly. Can't
epiphanies.
I know. They are available at different tiers, but you can log into Discord to see that. You can go on our coffee to see what's available. There are also workbooks that you can download. So workbooks from our previous workshops that are monthly and not weekly are available to purchase if you would like to do some big thinking like we do.
Yeah.
See how good you can be, like us. We'll be back next week. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
You've been listening to Pen to Paycheck Authors.
Stay tuned for our next episode, and don't forget to subscribe to learn how to write your way to financial success.